So this girl thought she had an idea of what she was going to be, even though she didn't really want to hear if that was the answer, but let's go through her recipe and I will show you what it was. Any guesses? Put them in the comments. Step 1, ingredient number 1, undertone. How do we determine it? We test with colors. So let's take a look. Do we feel like she is going to lean warm or is she going to lean cool? Put it in the chat. And by the chat, I mean the comments. Next, we want to identify her chroma. Is she more muted or is she more bright? If we look at these here, which of the two would look more harmonious? And then the last ingredient is value. Does she have the depth to uphold a deep palette? Or is she soft enough to be in soft? And maybe neither of these are right and she's somewhere in the middle. What do you think? You can also use an image in desaturation mode to determine too the value between, if we look at her lightest feature being the whites of her eyes versus her darkest feature being her eyes. It's not low. She's not going to be a soft category, but is it deep enough to be deep? All right. Maybe you haven't established that she's warm, but she's warm. I threw in a cool flag here just to test it out, right? But you can see that cool summer's out. It adds way too much pink into her skin, fighting with her natural warmth. Same with the soft autumn. Since there is that gray, it just kind of grays her out if you look at the overall here. So what are we left with? We're left with deep autumn and warm autumn. And the deep, it's not bad. It's just a little bit too much for her. Do I think she could borrow from here? Sure, she might have the ability to do that. Should she wear that full palette? No. Her strength is right there in that warm autumn. And here in another set, you can see, of course, that soft is too soft for her. Here again. And then here's another of the deep versus warm. And of course, the deep just being a little too sitting on top. You notice the color before you notice her, where she kind of more melts into the color on the left. You said, well, if she's warm, what about spring? Well, she's not light and airy and bright that is needed for spring. I'd expect to see a super light eye combination for her to go there and have a little bit more of that warmth to her skin. You can see here, just naturally, she just fits in that warm autumn. Same with here, it's actually turning her more pink on the right. So she, my friends, is a warm autumn, and if you need help finding out your season, you know where to find me, everything linked in bio.